All right, check it out. We are here with the 790i for the win. This is the one from EVGA. So everybody out there already knows the 790i is one of the fastest, best boards in the market if you're going to go with an NVIDIA chipset. It's definitely top notch, but EVGA is taking it a step further with the for the win, FTW. A lot of people think that FTW stands for other things, but it does stand for the win. So keep your mind in a clean place, please. Now, there's a lot of stuff going on this board. Looks pretty crazy. You might notice that it does look a little bit different than the 780i, and I'll show you the differences in a second. I actually have a 780i to compare and contrast, mostly in the cooling area, but let's talk about for the win first. Now, you know what the 790i Ultra is, you know what the 780 is. Now let's talk about for the win. This is a specific, it's not just a reference board, it's actually specifically changed by EVGA to have better hardware on it. So let's talk about what you get on this board. First of all, you get 8-phase power versus the 6, which is on their regular. So that's going to give you a better, cleaner power, which is awesome. You get V-droop control, which is pretty much voltages usually drop on the high end. They drop a little bit to keep their current stable. Well, this is going to let you eliminate that voltage drop because you might be needing that voltage to run your insanely high, stupid overclock, because if not, you know, it's just not going to run. You need that power to keep the frequency up and keep everything running smoothly. What else do you get? You get an amazing BIOS. I can't even begin to tell you guys how awesome the BIOS on this motherboard is. It literally will overclock itself. It's got, you know, you can set everything to auto, whether it be the linking between the front side bus and the memory, or even the memory timings themselves. You can pretty much do everything automatic. You put everything on auto, you mess with the front side bus, you mess with your voltages, and it will just overclock itself. It's so simple, it's ridiculous. I couldn't even begin to tell you about how much fun I had with the BIOS on this. And if you're using the EPP memory with EPP 2.0 with SLI compatible memory that goes up to 2000, we got it up to 2000 megahertz from 1600. Nothing, literally just at 1.9 volts, increasing the frequency, and it went there, got there with no problems, no issues. So it's really, really cool. What else do you get on here? You do get hardware buttons on the board for reset, for power, clear the CMOS, all that's on board. So that's very nice as far as when you're overclocking. That's the other thing that it comes with. Native 1600 megahertz front side bus support. So before it was 1333, 1600 was supported, but through overclocking, now it's native. 1600 right on there. You can probably go up to 2000. In the BIOS, the actual front side bus goes all the way to like 700 megahertz, which nothing's ever going to get that high, but still, it's there. It gives you the option. It is 45 nm ready, so you are going to get your Wolfdales and your Yorkville cores. They're going to work great. It does support DDR3 up to 8 gigabytes, so that's a lot. And again, up to 2000 megahertz. It'll do the SLI ready EPP 2.0 memory. You can do that with this board. So that's going to pretty much one click, gets you tighter timings, more bandwidth, all automatic. You don't have to do anything crazy. It just does it for you. You get 3 PCI Express lanes on this. Now, they're all X16. They're the green ones. X16, X16, X16. 2 of them running in PCI Express 2.0, and the other one's just regular. So you can definitely do triple SLI. This is one of the few boards that will allow you to do just full-blown, all-out X16 triple SLI. A lot of boards only do 2, or they split it. When you do 2, it'll do 8 lanes and 8 lanes. This will do 16 lanes, 16 lanes, and 16 lanes. So that's really cool. You also get 6 SATA ports, RAID support for everything, 0, 1, 0 plus 1, JBOD, 5, all of that. You get 10 USB 2.0 headers, 6 that are going to be on the back panel over here on your input-output plate, and another 4 via the headers that are on the motherboard. You get dual gigabit LAN, you get 7.1 channel audio, all this great stuff. You get the ESA, which is the Enthusiast System Architecture. That's really cool. If you guys know about that, it's getting more and more popular. More and more vendors are coming out with technology that supports it. What it does is it lets you monitor everything on the board. So on the computer in general, actually, lets you monitor your water cooling system, all your fans, all your temperatures, hard drives, power supplies, chipsets, CPUs, everything. It's all in one convenient place. So when you're overclocking, you're seeing, you know, doing stuff on your case, see if you're cooling better or not. You actually have all this information presented to you in a single place, very organized, very simple to use, and you can modify everything from that panel. Now, let me give you a quick demo. Starting off, let me show you the front side bus, or the CPU socket. Socket 775, obviously. Now, what you will notice is it is a little bit different. I'm going to show this one here, and if you can zoom out just a little bit, I'm going to put the 780i. So you see that there is a difference on the 2 boards. The main difference is being on the 790i, there's that fan. The fan's different. Rather than blowing air down, it's blowing air to the sides and out. So what that's doing is it's keeping the heat that's coming off of your CPU and your chipset, it's keeping it from being blown towards your video cards, which was a problem before. Why would you blow hot air towards the hottest part of the computer on the video cards? This blows it off to the sides. It's much easier for your exhaust case fan to grab it, shoot it out of the case. So that's a nice little design change. Another thing you'll notice, let me put this one back real quick. You will notice that you do get, hey, wrong one. Took back the wrong one. I knew something was wrong with that fan. You'll notice that again, you get more coolers for your north bridge and all your MOSFETs and all your power capacitors. Everything is cooled better. It's all integrated, so it's all one big system. And you'll notice that there's a big gap right here. This is where your exhaust fan is going to pull all the heat out of your case. You do get 4 DIMMs, up to 8 gigabytes, DDR3 up to 2000. Let's see, what else can I tell you about this? 24-pin motherboard connector, IDE, floppy, they're both here if you're going to use them, whatever. Postcode, not a problem. If you have an error putting it together, you have a defective part, this is going to tell you what it is. You also have SATA connections right here. There's actually 2, which you can't really see. There's 2 right there, and those are great because if you have a big video card right going down through here, they're facing the right direction, so they're not going to be blocked off by a large video card like a GTX 280 or an 8800 Ultra, any of that kind of, those big cards that are over several inches extended. It's going to help you fit those cards. Now, if you move on up here a little bit, scoot on up, there you go. 4 SATA ports are right there. Again, you have 6 in total. RAID support for pretty much everything you could possibly want. Moving on down to the bottom, if you look over here, very convenient. You get your power and reset buttons. So if you overclocked a little too far or when you're first putting the computer together, you can turn it on. Over here you have a clear CMOS button or CMOS, depending on how you want to say it. Very simple, very easy. You don't have to pull the battery out. You just push the button, you're good to go. You have your 3 PCI Express X16 lanes over here, solid state capacitors throughout the board, and they even added this extra SATA port over here in case you filled up everything. Let's say you have a RAID 5 array and so all your 6 SATA ports are being used. This is 1 extra. It's right on the back there. So this is good for your eSATA. You can hook up an eSATA to one of your plates that goes right over here. So that's very cool. Now let me show you the side panel on this, or the input-output plate, or where your input-output plate will go. Starting off from the top up here, you have your PS2s for your legacy keyboard and mouse. You have SP-Diff in 2 different flavors. You get the analog and the digital, which is very nice. eSATAs on board. You can add I think like 6 more, no problem, through the BIOS using the plates on the headers that are on the board. You get dual gigabit LAN over here. An additional 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 USB 2.0 ports. So like I said, you get 10 in total, 6 on the board, 4 on the headers. That's more than anyone would probably ever need. 7.1 high def audio is also right there, very nice and simple. And then if you're a video editor, of course, you get Firewire, which is right there, very easy to use. Let's see, what else can I tell you about it? I think I pretty much nailed everything on here. Very nice cooling. The biggest difference you're going to see physically is obviously going to be the cooling. So you do get nice cooling. All right, so real quick, I'm almost out of time, but you need to know what's inside the box. So, pretty input-output plate. Painted, padded on the back, excellent. Serial, whatever. Firewire, very useful. Look how many SATA cables they have. Do you need SATA cables? This is where you're going to get them. Plenty of them. What else? 4 USB 2.0. So the headers that are inside, this is going to take you to the back plate in case you want to have 10 on the back in total. That's awesome. IDEs and floppies, whatever, no one's ever going to use them. 3-way SLI bridge. If you're a true gangster, this is what you're going to use. This is going to power 3 9800 GTX Pluses or 3 GTX 280s if you're really crazy. And then the dual one for the more moderate gamers that only have thousands of dollars to spend on their computers. And lots of SATA connectors. You probably won't need these if you have this board. I mean, come on, get real. Again, an awesome motherboard. If you are an NVIDIA fanboy, there's no way you're going to ATI no matter what video card they come out with. This is definitely going to be for you. This is top of the line. Not only is it the fastest chips of the 790i, it's EVGA's For the Win edition. It will support your Yorkfield and your Wolfdale cores, 45nm ready. It's got all the latest technology, supports the EPP 2.0 memory, dual gigabit LAN, onboard audio, great. What else? You get an excellent warranty. You even get 24/7 support. That's another thing I really like about EVGA. 24/7 support. So you're putting this computer together at like 3 in the morning, because that's what you do at 3 in the morning, you put computers together. Something's not going right, you have no idea what's going on, you call them, they help you, it's fantastic. That way you don't have to send me emails, you can send them emails. It's great. So awesome. Again, EVGA For the Win. Any questions, email me. I'll see you guys next time. For more information on the EVGA nForce 790i For the Win motherboard, go to compusa.com and type in E145-2042 into the search box. Or you can always call us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at 1-800-COMP-USA.